All right, for this next problem, it is a word problem. There's no visual, but we have to define our variables. And I think these ones, they're pretty fun. The length of a rectangular garden is 4 meters more than its width. So I'm gonna have to say my width is equal to, and my length is equal to. I'm gonna start to draw a visual here to help myself. So the area of the rectangle is 60 meters. Find the dimensions of the garden. I'm going to read it a second time. The length of a rectangular garden. So the length is 4 meters more than the width. So if I label my width X, my length is 4 meters more than the width. So 4 meters more would be whatever the length of the width is plus 4, like that. So I'm going to say width, let that be X. That's my variable that I'm defining. And then length, well, that would be the width plus 4, or X plus 4. Now I'm going to have to multiply to find area. So in this problem, I have X times X plus 4 is equal to 60. I have to distribute. X times X is X squared. X times 4 is 4X equals 60. Now it has to be in standard form, which it's not, because standard form, as we know, is AX squared plus B of X plus C equals 0. I need to bring this 60 to the other side by subtracting 60. X squared plus 4x minus 60 equals 0. So right now, this is the quadratic that I'm dealing with. It is in standard form, and now I have to ask myself, what would the sum be? Okay, 4. What would the factors in that product be? Negative 60. So I have to think about all the factors that could give me 60, but it also has to be negative. So for C, it's the factors. And for B, it is the sum of the factors. Now, I know 10 times 6 I could deal with. And when I say 10 times 6, I already know that I could manipulate that in a way to get 4. So if my factors are going to be giving me a negative answer, then one of them has to be negative. So is that going to be like a negative 6 times positive 10, or positive 6 times negative 10? Well, I need to end up with a positive 4. So which of these, when added, would give me a sum of positive 4? And that would be this first one here, negative 6 plus 10. Now, this was a question that Ruby brought up the other day, like, all right, well, when you're dealing with the signs, how do you know which ones to use? And you kind of have to play around with it. You have to know what gives you a negative, and that's one being positive and one being negative when you multiply. And then you have to know, how are you going to end up with a positive 4 when you add your factors together? Negative 6 plus 10 is positive 4. 6 plus negative 10, that would give you a negative 4. So that's why that one can't work. I'm going to come over here and write my factors. I have X minus 6, X plus 10 equals 0. You could write it the different way, where X plus 10 is listed first. I'm going to set both of these equal to 0. X is equal to 6. Set this equal to 0. X plus 10 equals 0. X equals negative 10. I can't have a side length that's negative. So just like that other problem, only one of your solutions works, and that is X being equal to 6. So this side length is 6. Or the width is 6. However, the length ends up being 10, because 6 plus 4 is 10. So this is a 6 by 10.